Um, Arik, it's cool to catch up with you right now during a very uneasy, unweird time, just very weird time for a lot of people around the world. And how is this coronavirus thing affecting you and your family, and kind of what you're doing right now?
Oh man, it's affecting I think everybody in different ways. Everybody something that nobody has really dealt with in our lifetimes, in our generation. So you don't really know how to deal with it. Everybody's just trying to gather as much information as possible and stay safe. And um, they say the way for it not to spread and to beat it is for everybody to stay inside. And it's super contagious, so that's super important. And so I think everybody's just trying to figure it out as we go, I think.
Yeah, I know it's a crazy time for everybody, and everything just kind of keeps evolving day by day. Talk about for you. I mean, you've got a whole off season to look forward to. How do you keep distracted? How do you keep busy? How do you keep to cure the boredom during a time like this?
Oh man, it's crazy. I signed my contract, but all this stuff is going on, and so I mean, it's like I said, it's weird times for everybody, and everybody's taking it day by day. That's kind of what I'm doing too. Um, who knows if we'll have a season, but I have to prepare like we are going to have one, and so they're trying to find ways to continue to work out and stay in shape, and um, in this time, you find a lot of time in your hands to be productive in other areas where you feel like you might not have had the time, which I think is important for people. And so, whether that's spiritually or any side projects you've been working on, or um, reading and other things that you want to become a better person and work on. I think it's an important time to work on those things while you have the chance.
So for you, I mean, is it difficult to kind of continue with training regimens? Do you have to get a little creative or a little thinking outside the box when you're training out there in Florida?
Yeah, well, my trainers out here, uh, you know, things are shutting down, so we have to find, open spaces and kind of rearrange workouts. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough when the gyms and fields and stuff are closed. So we're trying to find public parks and stay away uh, and be out in open space and kind of away from other people, and then um, just go back to the hotel and just kind of stay in my hotel and try to isolate myself as much as possible. And so, but yeah, I'm still trying to find ways to get good work in, and try to become a better player. Hopefully, throughout this process, to continue to work on staying in shape and working on my game.
That's awesome. And for you, I mean, last week was just a total life-changing experience for you, I imagine. I mean, you just completed 5 seasons in the NFL, all with the same team with the 49ers, and uh, trying to rebuild on the Super Bowl that you built off of this past season. But I mean, you got a new 5-year deal, and take us through that. Did you think something like that was even going to be possible when you entered this free agency? Did it come as a surprise at how quickly you were able to get something done?
Um, yeah, my main focus was to focus on what I can control, and that was going out there and putting myself in a good position, um, helping my team win games, playing hard, trying to make some plays, make myself valuable, and so that was what I try to control, and then that's when I leave it to my agent to do his work for me, and I let him know that I wanted to be in San Fran, and it wasn't so much about trying to get the most money possible. Um, It was more for me staying in San Fran, being close to home. I really factored in lifestyle over monetary gain, and staying in Northern California, staying close to Sacramento, staying close to my family. My fiance is moving to Sacramento. So being here in this area, continuing to be a drive away from the communities I'm trying to impact to, all factored into my decision, more than, trying to make as much money as possible. And also staying with the Niners. We have a great team, and trying to go back to a Super Bowl, and being surrounded by a great organization and great players. So it was the best for me in my life, in that decision. And I'm super, super happy about it, and super happy that it came together and I was able to stay. I didn't really imagine myself being anywhere else. So kind of happy it worked out that way.
Yeah, it's got to be extremely gratifying too. And talking to you over the years, there's been highs and lows in your career, but your best season coincides with a Super Bowl appearance, and here you are being rewarded with it. Just when you kind of take a step back, do you just pinch yourself a little bit and just go, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe all this is happening at the same time"?
Yeah, God always has a plan. He always has a plan for your life, and his plan is better than yours. His plan is better than the one you try to make up, and you try to force stuff and make stuff happen. Things come together as they should. Everything happens for a reason, and to be living in the moment, definitely excited and happy about my future.
How many people have come out of the woodwork now, hitting you up for a loan or some money now?
uh, not so much. Yeah, people are people. I have a close friend and family group, so I'm kind of sheltered from a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I guess people are going to be people.
For sure, no doubt. When you think about it, it is a business, and you in the process of this past week, you lose a teammate to who's like a brother to you in DeForest Buckner, who goes to another team in the Colts and signs a lucrative deal himself, a life-changing deal for him as well. Is it bittersweet? It's going to be. I imagine it's going to be tough not lining up next to him, but at the same time, he's been rewarded for his hard work as well.
Yeah, it was definitely bittersweet. We played together alongside each other for 8 years. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment. And I'm definitely happy for him. He definitely deserves that. He's a baller. He's an amazing person. And I know he's going to do great things up there in Indianapolis. So he definitely deserved that big payday. I wish it was with us and we could continue our career together. But, like I talked about, everything happens for a reason. And, we've talked since then and, kind of came to terms with everything. And, we're both extremely excited for each other. And a lot of hard work has gone into, where we're at now in our careers. And it's crazy and it's super rare that you have a person that you went through all those, different stages with together in terms of, grinding and in college and dealing with that, and early parts of our NFL career when we're losing a bunch of games, and to be able to be cornerstones and turn that around and go to a Super Bowl, and for us to be rewarded and what we do out there on the field. So yeah, I'm super happy for him. Definitely going to be weird, so it is a little bittersweet.
Yeah, I imagine. And, the season that you had, I know everyone talks about the sacks and the statistics that you had this past season. It was statistically your best season. Is it something you can imagine duplicating next year and seeing if you can build upon that? What are the additions that you're trying to do in your game to replicate the season that you had?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty good year. But my focus is always to get better. I feel like I'm coming into a groove. I'm, entering my prime, I would say. They say guys' primes are 27, 28. So I'm 26 years old. So it's crazy, kind of crazy. It's been 6 years in the league now, or going on 6 years. But yeah, I think I'm getting better and better. I'm, that's what drives me, is to get better. So there's not going to be any complacency out of me. I'm hitting my groove. I'm becoming a better and better player. And, I'm excited about my future as a player, and it's, only up from here.
It was so much fun to be out there with you at the NFC Championship, and then of course with the Super Bowl week in Miami. It was such a fun time. But for you, do you reflect back on that and look at it as a bittersweet memory? I mean, how do you kind of look at what transpired at the Super Bowl? And have you brought yourself? Can you even look at the video? Or I know some people are all different. Everyone's different. Some people can't even look at it, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the tape, but I had for a few days. But I watched it. I have to watch tape and clear it out my system. That's just how I am. Even all my games, as soon as I get home from the stadium, I have to watch it before I go to bed. So that's just the way I am. So yeah, I watched it. I cleared out my system. The Super Bowl was an amazing experience. Definitely didn't turn out the way we hoped or we imagined. We didn't come out with the win, but it's an amazing experience to play on that stage. Something we all dream about as players, and I'm excited to strive to get back there with my teammates and hopefully get a win.
Having gone through it, is there anything you can reflect on where you go, man, I'd do this thing differently? I mean, I know there's a lot of people who say it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and here you are hoping to duplicate that one day and get back there. All the work that goes into that. I mean, silly question. Is it feasible? Can it be done?
Oh, I think so. The NFL is always changing year to year, but I think we have all the pieces to get back. I think we have an excellent team, a well-rounded, balanced team on offense, defense, and special teams. And so I think we have all the makings to get back. It's just, putting in that work again, starting from ground zero, starting OTAs, and then building on training camp, and then preseason, and then the season, and putting yourself in a good position for the playoffs. And then, it's a long road, but we've done it. We've been there, and I feel we can get back there.
Right on. And I know, it was with this, who knows what the off season brings, but I know we're only a couple weeks into it. And, luckily you're in the plans for the 49ers the next 5 years. And oh my gosh, they had Tom Brady linked to your team for the longest time. What was it like just kind of having him linked to your team? Did you even think something like that was going to be feasible? And here he is off to the Buccaneers now.
Oh, no, I didn't see that being a reality. I thought it was just, good media hype for people to look at for, a few days. I didn't see us making that move. Jimmy's our leader, turned the organization around, and, he's our franchise quarterback, and I didn't see that changing.
I mean, what does it say about him too? I mean, he's a year removed from an ACL, and he's able to, it's a team effort, but obviously being the quarterback, it gets all the attention. Here he is, like you said, he's your leader, and he leads you guys all the way to the Super Bowl. How, for people who have no idea, just how unbelievable is that for a guy returning from an ACL injury?
It's amazing. I've dealt with injuries in my career, season-ending injuries, and it's a long recovery road to bounce back and get back to playing at a high level. And he did that in a short period of time and led us to the Super Bowl. So that's just a testament to the player he is, the guy he is, his work ethic, and it's definitely a challenging thing to deal with. And so for him to bounce back that quick and play at that high of a level is amazing.
One of the things, every time I see you or any member of your family, especially your dad, it seems like we're always talking about restaurants and food and everything. And here you are coming out with 916, Eat 916. I mean, just what was the idea behind this, and kind of keeping some of those restaurants in the Sacramento area in the back of your mind as they kind of go through the trials and tribulations of this coronavirus?
Yeah, I mean, our whole country is, the whole world is being affected by this, and more specifically, close to home, Sacramento and Sacramento's economy, and you know, 60% over 60% of Sacramento is made up of small businesses, mainly restaurants. We have some of, the most amazing food in the world, and these restaurants employ a lot of Sacramento natives and are a big part of our community and our community's infrastructure. And so I wanted to try to find a way to support them and try to encourage people to keep them afloat by, still ordering there, getting some meals there, dine out, take out, delivery. And so I wanted to encourage people to do that, to support local and support your local restaurants. And I feel like it's a win-win. You can eat at some of your favorite restaurants and have a chance to win game tickets to the Niner games and autographs from me and other memorabilia and cool stuff you can win. So I don't see any negative to it. Eat at your favorite restaurants and win cool stuff. So
How do they do it? How does someone go about letting you know that they're doing that?
Yeah. So how we set it up is when you get your food, take a picture of it, tag the restaurant, tag me on Instagram, and then hashtag eat916. And then we'll have all the people who've done it, and we're going to start randomly selecting winners. So all the information is on my Instagram and Twitter. And I partner with Unite SAC, who is doing some amazing work. Community leaders have came together to streamline resources for Sacramento natives, all types of resources and information to help you get through this time. So I partner with them, and just trying to do something positive. And like I said, I think it's a win-win for people.
It's a very unique idea. How did it kind of come about? I mean, I imagine you've gotten a good response already from your social media channels, but how did something like this kind of come about?
Oh, I mean, I just had the idea. I was sitting around, had the idea, trying to think about how I could, support, our community and try to somewhat, I know a lot of people are worried about the economy and the effects it's going to take on that. And so, yeah, and I know our restaurants are a big part of that. So just trying to think how I could support them or, drive some traffic, to support our local restaurants in this time, and try to keep them open. Like I said, they hire and employ a lot of people, and those people need their jobs, and the only way to keep paying them is to keep eating their food and keep the businesses alive. So it was just an idea I came up with, and sat down with my team and put it together.
What's the best thing you've seen so far of people responding to you or taking pictures and letting you know where they're at?
Oh, a lot of people. I mean, I'm surprised and happy that I'm finding about. I'm actually kind of mad that people are telling me about restaurants that I haven't been to that I want to go to too. So I can't wait to get back to Sacramento to try those restaurants. Yeah, and there's some amazing restaurants doing some amazing things for the community in terms of meal prep and making it real easy for you to take meals home that are fresh and easily prepared for your families. And these are some of the most well-known, respected restaurants in Sacramento, have been for years, and they're trying to support their community by making it easy on all of us. So I've been seeing some really cool things.
It's funny for me because every time I talk to you, which is a few times a year, you always have something new for the community. You are such a good ambassador for Sacramento and wearing your hometown on your sleeve. You got the Armstead Academic Project. For people who don't know, Can you talk a little bit about that? What kind of opportunities you're trying to provide for some, people here in Sacramento?
Yeah, I'm trying to provide education equity simply. I want to provide opportunities and hope, um, economic resources for low-income areas in Sacramento and students and youth who live in these poverty-stricken areas in Sacramento. And I want to provide hope and opportunity for them. And I never felt that it was fair that, depending on where you live, determine the type of education you will receive. And so I want to subsidize and try to provide equity and even out that playing field. And so that's what I'm passionate about. And, just trying to make sure that all my, time, resources, and knowledge is going to, help youth in our community, try to be successful and achieve their dreams.
Well, I appreciate you joining, man. It's so admirable what you're doing here with this community at a time where things are just so chaotic in this world. But it's great to see your face. It's great to hear your voice, and I really appreciate you coming on. And I know, last we talked a little while ago, I knew you were going to be getting married this year. Has this kind of disrupted any of those plans? This coronavirus has disrupted any of those?
Yeah. I mean, pretty bummed about that, but it, life is still good. We're we're good, and a lot of people are going through a lot worse things than your wedding being affected or ruined or possibly canceled. So I mean, it is what it is. We're bummed about it, but too blessed and to worry about that too much. We'll have a nice ceremony hopefully soon.
That's awesome. You got any recommendations? People are giving you all these recommendations for restaurants and stuff in Sacramento. You got any, series or video game recommendations for people to pass the time in the meantime?
Video games, man. I haven't played. I used to play all the time. I haven't played video games in like a year and a half, to be honest. I heard the new Call of Duty is dope though, so I may try to, while I'm out here, may try to go buy a system and get back on. I'm a big FIFA fan. Those FIFA games are always. I think FIFA's like the best sports game ever made. Really, it's just in terms of the gameplay and how fluid it is. So, yeah, I heard the new Call of Duty is dope, and I heard FIFA is always dope. So, I may go buy a system so I can play out here.
Right on. Any television series, any movies you recommend to anybody?
Oh, I'm actually watching The Tiger King right now. I'm on like episode 3. It's crazy. That's what I'm about to watch when I get off with you. And what else? Ozark is about to come back out on March 27th. Can't wait for that. What else? Oh, I watched The Circle on Netflix. It's like a social. They're trying to do like a social media contest. I watched Love Is Blind. That was good.
Come on. Really?
I watched Love Is Blind. That was good. Yeah, but I'm watching Tiger King right now.
That's the one I got to get on top of here in the next few days. I've got you. You
yeah,
got a lot of.
finished.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You definitely got to check it out. I finished Narcos too. So.
Yeah, that Narcos is what I'm on right now. So once that's over, I'll start Tiger King.
Dang, you late.
I know. I got to work.
I know.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I appreciate you, man. I really do. It's great to see you, and congratulations on your new contract. And I look forward to seeing you when all this stuff is back to normal, right?
All right. Appreciate you, man. I'll see you soon. Stay safe.
You too, man. Appreciate you.
All right.